The choreographers work with directors, producers, designers and other members of the production team to plan, create and realise a dance or movement design concept. Choreographers work with trained dancers and with actors to teach them the required steps and routines and to ensure that continuity is maintained throughout productions. So they're just there to set the required standards of if loads of dancers just you have to have someone to keep the dancers in control basically. And they are always employed on any film production involving dance routines and on larger scale musical and or dance television productions. On bigger budget productions they may work with an assistant choreographer. So that'd be a main choreographer and then assistant one, because there's usually especially musicals and stuff, I can understand there's a lot of dancing, so yep. Typical career routes. Choreographers usually start their working lives as dancers. They may become dance captains who are responsible for ensuring the continuity of the dance, but who have no creative input into its design. In theatrical productions, progressive become assistant choreographers and then ultimately choreographers.
Can I just take this?
Yeah.
For those of us in the room who don't know what a dance captain is, could you know what a dance captain is?
It's it's just kind of like the leader kind of thing. It's just the person who has a main responsibility for the group as the part of the dancers rather than
They will keep the dance routines fresh and keep giving notes in sort of long runs.
Yeah.
They're like the best dancer
they're
in the dancers.
Yes. So then what's the difference between is there a choreographer and a dance captain at the same time?
Yeah, they're completely different things.
So the choreographer will choreograph and then
the dance captain is a dancer.
Yeah. Okay.
And the choreographer tells them what to do.
Okay.
Choreographer's in charge.
Remember what I said last week about directors, theatre directors? Once they finish the show, that's their job over with.
Yeah.
They move on to directing the next show, but the show they directed is still up and running. So the stage manager or deputy stage manager or assistant director may take over giving the notes and running a tight ship. So that's really what a dance captain does.
Okay.
Is everyone clear on that? Yeah. Okay.
Are there any well-known choreographers? I chose someone who I thought most people would know. He's not this is Brian Freeman, and you probably recognise him from X Factor and stuff, and Britain's Got Talent. He's quite on TV quite a lot. He created popular things like Britney Spears and Beyonce, well known for music videos, concert tours, television and film productions. Currently he is a creative director on X Factor and America's Got Talent, and he began dance at the age of 11, so started very young. So it's not something you can just come into when you're 30 and think, oh, I'll be a choreographer. You have to start young to know what you're talking about. By the age of 16 he was responsible for his own dance studio. As a young dancer, so he started off as a dancer obviously, he worked with artists such as Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, Salt and Pepper band, and Pop in the 90s.
Sorry, who? Salt and Pepper?
Salt and Pepper, yeah.
Yeah, they're in the 90s. They're mainly 90s artists.
He's been credited for providing choreography for films such as Charlie's Angels and Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, among others. He was also in a singing group, but then realised he wanted to pursue a career in dance. He co-owned a dance studio with his mum, and he closed it in 2000, so he could focus on being a choreographer. So that kind of shows you how you can't just come into it however old you want to be. You have to work, you have to know what you're on about. You have to
Why do you think that is, Lauren?
Because to be able to be a choreographer, you have to be able to dance yourself. You have to be able to know. You have to kind of know what looks good and what and be able to explain to the other dancers what you want and show them what you want. And I think it's pretty impossible to not dance your whole life and then suddenly be able to dance and show others how to dance.
Does anyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Why? Ashley?
I don't agree with that.
You didn't agree with that? No. You don't agree with it then?
No.
Okay, why don't you agree with it?
See, a lot of people, especially on talent shows, they start off a bit older, tap dancers especially. Then they'll start off older and they say, oh, I want to get to tap dance, I go to classes. and they gradually become really good, and they could get into choreography if they.
Yeah, but they're not.
Might be a
They're not
short career,
choreographers though.
But yeah, listen, it might be a short career, but then soon enough they can get their name out there, and people want them to choreographer because they're so talented at what they do at such a middle-list age. They could choreographer. It doesn't mean when you're young you can't. You just have to. When you're younger, you're obviously going to have a bit more experience.
And a better chance.
Yeah, well, and a better chance because when you're younger you have better chance.
No, but that's such like a random thing to say. Like we had someone on a talent show could do this and could do that, but they
It's not
don't.
even a talent show.
But what have they been doing for most of their lives if they've not been choreographing? Sorry. Dancing.
Exactly. That's what. Yeah. You have to know how to dance. You have to.
Yeah, but most of the people that they come in halfway, but they still know about dance. They probably still dance. It's like I don't think anyone would just go into just dance, but someone that's like been in like the low for a long time, which really wants to dance, and then they come out and dance.
Billy Elliot.
Matthew Vaughan started dancing at 21.
Because actually, so I'm going to come to this, 22.
22. Matthew Vaughan started at
22.
22, so you don't have to be young.
You have to be young.
No, I didn't say
And he had a young career. Yeah, but he wasn't
Hands
five,
up.
he was 22.
It is a fight now. Okay, right, Marisol.
You don't have to be young, but you have to have danced.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
James, would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay, Bertie.
So what if, right? What if you're shit at dance? What if you're not very good at dance?
Thank you.
But you just have a brilliant eye and you manage to
But
say
you
what
can't.
you want to
You'll never meet a
Okay.
choreographer.
You need respect. You need respect. She will.
Listen, Marisol's got a hand up.
In terms of movement vocabulary, you physically cannot tell someone what to do if you can't do it yourself.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can't.
so you're talking about the vocabulary,
to
having
show them.
vocabulary.
You need to show them what they have to do.
Yeah, you'll never meet a choreographer who can't dance.
It's visual.
Can we agree to disagree? I'll give James the last comment. Can we agree to disagree? Okay, but
My comments is all.
I agree with what Marisol said about you don't have to be young to be a choreographer, but it does give you a lot more experience and boost than if you started like at 13 to classes. So, let you know.
I mean, there are very famous cases of dancers and choreographers who came to dance later in life. So
But that's
this is
an
probably
exception.
before. It is an exception.
That's why. That's the same as anything. You can say, yeah, he was a footballer, but he started it. So
Yeah.
that's exceptions. Whereas this is like the norm.
It's a very the key thing is it's a competitive industry. So the more experience you can get, younger, the better. But one of the most famous examples of a world famous dancer starting at quite an old age was Rudolf Nureyev, that you may or may not have heard of. Sort of very Russian ballet dancer from the 60s and 70s. And he actually started doing classical ballet in his mid-20s and went on to become one of the world's leading male
That's why
ballet
it's so
dancers.
famous though, because that's an exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say, if you it's an exception to be able to go your whole life without doing any dance and then be a choreographer. It's odd. So this is just what most choreographers would have done. They would have danced from a young age, been a dancer and then a choreographer.
I think what Marisol said about you needing the shared vocabulary is very important.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be very hard to find a choreographer who can't dance because whenever I learn dances, you watch, you don't listen. Like someone will teach you. You just.
But that's not to say that someone who's not interested in dance at the moment couldn't suddenly.
Yeah, but you'd have to
become
work
a
very
really good
hard.
dancer.
That's the thing. You'd have to. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Essential knowledge and skills. A thorough knowledge of dance, visual and creative abilities, teaching skills. It's very, with being a choreographer, you have to be very patient, especially at not professional standards. But when you are a professional dancer, you're expected to. A choreographer has a lot of power. They're very. You listen to them straight away. You don't mess around. You go on with it because they're there to. Perseverance and stamina. So yeah, when you learn a dance, you'll do it over and over and over again. So you need to have the stamina and the fitness to keep up. Excellent communication and interpersonal skills. So when you're in a dance class, even in our dance class, it gets very stressed. People don't know what they're doing, and when you have someone who's there who's great communication skills to ease you and help you through. And tell you what you're doing. Good. Self-motivation, so and teamwork and skills, practical and creative problem skills and organisations. Training and qualifications. Choreographers should be qualified dancers. Courses are available at specialist schools which cater for young people from 10 years of age. Full-time training may be undertaken from age of 16. Choreography courses are offered by some specialist dance schools like the Larkin Centre. As the work is physically demanding, most choreographers maintain their stamina and fitness levels by attending regular dance or fitness classes throughout their careers. They should also continually research and learn new dance styles in order to expand their repertoires. And then if you're interested in becoming a choreographer, you can take a look at what courses are offered. And if you go to the website, the UCAS website, there's a massive list of where choreography is offered as either like part of the dance course or just on its own. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. Okay, any questions you want to ask Lauren that weren't answered during the presentation? Oh, Betty.
Yeah.
What about fight choreographers?
Ah, well, we're coming on to fight
Oh, it's
choreographers
you.
next.
Okay.
Okay?
I do not have a
Let's be
question.
honest with you.
Okay, thanks very much, Lauren.